Hey, it's Stephen, Net Promoter Score Fail 22 out of 30. Personalities. This one manifests like culture, the previous one, in terms of how we look at things, but this is us as an individual. As an individual, I will look at something different to how my neighbour does. A light bulb moment happened to me many years ago when I was driving to a meeting with my business partner. I remarked how well my little old car was doing, and she said, well, what do you expect? That's what it's expected to do. It's supposed to do that. It's supposed to work well. She's a much harder marker than I am. So I would rate something differently to what she does. Sometime later, we stayed at a hotel. We had supposedly identical rooms. There are mosquitoes, identical rooms. They were on the same floor. I rated that stay a 9 out of 10 and she rated it an 8 out of 10. Now the difference is only 1 point, but mine's a promoter and hers is a neutral. So the reason for that was simply that she said, oh, some of the furniture was a little bit dated and I didn't really like the look of it that much, although we had a good stay. I thought, wow, that's really interesting because the difference is marked. One is a promoter and one is not. So I thought to myself, well, how does this manifest in the real world, with not just the real world, but with other people? And it happens all the time. We know that through our mystery shopping business. What we do is we measure precisely, did this happen, did that happen, did the other happen, and we remove the personality from it and different levels of marking and different feeling for something. It's just the feels. I mean, how can you measure things based on how it feels? The Net Promoter Score proponents or spruikers would say, well, hang on, it's going to come out in the wash because you're going to get some really hard markers and some really easy markers and it's going to wash itself out. But I don't know that that's a good enough answer, because if something's just wrong or different or you can't put your finger on it, you can't just say it's going to come out in the wash. You've got to be a little bit more precise than that. So that's why I think you need to temper what you're collecting with your measurements and mix it in with a few other measurements.